The Claw's melee weapon category consists of 4 regular weapons and 3 exalted weapons. The 4 regular weapons are the Venka and its prime variant, the Ripkas and the Keratinos. Exalted claw weapons are Valkyr's Talons, Garuda's Talons and Sevagoth's Shadow Claws. In this video I'll only go over the regular weapons, since comparing the exalted weapons would require comparing the frames that they are attached to. If you're interested in that comparison, let me know in the comments, and I'll add it to my to-do list. There are 3 stances for claw weapons. Malicious Raptor has the highest damage per second on the regular combos. The combo while not moving also has 1/proc with 300% damage, and will lift, then knock down enemies. But, it's one of those melee stances that moves the camera with its attacks, so it can trigger my motion sickness. Vermilion Storm has the highest damage per second on the regular non-moving combo, with 1 forced/proc. I will be using this stance in this video, since this is my favorite. I quite like the spin attack in the moving combo that will hit all enemies around you. Four Riders has slightly lower damage on the regular combos, but stronger block combos. The combo while blocking and moving has a forced/proc, and will lift and knock down enemies. I'd say that the difference between these 3 stances is small enough that you can use the one that you like best, or whichever one you have, but Malicious Raptor would be the best to use in general. The Venka Prime is the primed version of the Venka, the first claw weapon. Since it's a straight-up upgrade, I'll only look at the prime version in this video. Venka Prime is permanently unvaulted with Valkyr Prime. Relics containing its parts drop from high-level railjack missions, so this weapon is the hardest one to get for newer players. It also has the highest mastery rank requirement since you need to be mastery rank 14 to use it or get its blueprint from other players. It deals mostly slash damage, with very high critical chance of 32%, a critical multiplier of 2.6 and status chance of 24%. In fact, this weapon has the highest attack speed, critical chance and critical multiplier of all non-exalted claw weapons. It also has the lowest Riven disposition of 0.8. It has 1 innate dash and 1 innate V polarity. The Venka Prime is the only weapon that can reach a melee combo multiplier of 13 times. That means that the max critical chance it can reach with only Blood Rush equipped is 185%, and the max status chance with only Weeping Wounds equipped is 139%. The Ripkas are a Grineer-made claw weapon. You can get the blueprint from the in-game marketplace. To craft the Ripkas, you will need dual cleavers and Ankyros, 1 Forma and 2 Tellurium. Since it's a mastery rank 5 weapon, new players might find that it requires a bit of a grind to get all the materials for it. The Ripkas deal the highest percentage of slash damage out of the 3 weapons we are looking at in this video, but they also have slightly lower base damage. Its critical chance is 20% and status chance is 15%, which is okay, but not great for a weapon with such low attack speed. The Ripkas have 2 exclusive mods. Hunter's Bonesaw increases damage by 90% and status chance by 60% when attacking a prone enemy. You can use it with stances or abilities that knock down enemies, like Divine Spears, Fire Blast or Arcane Eruption, but I wouldn't really recommend using it in your builds. Amalgam Ripka's True Steel increases its critical chance by 187% and increases the reload speed on shotguns by 20%. It also adds 100% gore chance. This is a bit vague, but it just means that enemies will be dismembered or bisected. This works well with Necros's Desecrate, which treats every body part as a separate corpse that has its own chance to yield additional loot. The gore chance applies to your abilities and weapons, though it is a bit inconsistent. If you're using Necros, or farming with one, this mod is highly recommended. The Keratinos is an infected claw weapon that you can get from the Necralisk on Demos. You will need to buy the main blueprint for 1000 standing from Father, and 2 of each component blueprints for 500 standing each, for a total of 3000 standing. The blueprints are available at rank 0, but you will need to get the Adramal Alloy and Purged Dagonic blueprints from Otak to craft the blades. So the Keratinos can take a few days to get all the materials and craft. The Keratinos has the highest base damage out of all claws, except for Garuda's claws, but it only deals 36% slash damage. It deals 14% innate viral damage. It has a low critical chance of 13% and a slightly above average critical multiplier, but a very high status chance of 29%. It also has a slightly lower attack speed. The Keratinos has a special heavy attack, different from other claw weapons. The claws extend and the spinning attack hits all enemies around you. The first 3 hits deal 100% damage, the second 3 deal the same damage but with a forced slash proc, and the final hit deals 300% damage with a forced slash. If the heavy attack was executed at combo multiplier of 12, the claws will remain extended for 3 minutes, increasing the range by around 1.9 meters. This increase stacks with range mods. Since these 3 weapons are quite different, you should build them differently, keeping in mind their strengths. Even the standard combo viral build should be different for each weapon. The Venka Prime works nicely with the standard viral build, though you could also build it for corrosive damage if you're fighting acolytes or sentients. Due to its high base critical damage, it's more worth building it for critical damage than critical chance. Since the Keratinos only has 13% critical chance, Blood Rush brings it only to about 70% critical chance at max combo multiplier, so it's better to replace it with more attack speed, range or a Prime Smite mod, and use Arcane Avenger or the Cavet buffs to increase your critical chance. I still have it in this clip since I'm not using arcanes or companions that affect my melee weapon in this whole video. Amalgam Organ Shatter also works very well on the Keratinos, since its heavy attack is quite powerful, and you should use it from time to time to keep the claws extended. Since the Ripkas are quite a bit slower than the other 2 weapons, they need more attack speed. If you have primed Fury it will work well, but I'm showing it here with both Berserker Fury and Quickening. The Ripkas fall behind quite a bit compared to the other 2 weapons, but you can get away with using them even in higher levels, you just might need some damage buffs. It's mostly carried by its high percentage of slash damage and decent critical chance. If you're facing high-level Corpus, you're better off building for toxin damage with Smite Corpus. Since slash procs don't bypass shields, and toxin procs do, toxin damage with a high status chance works better. My Corpus build for the Keratinos has melee prowess since I have 1D polarity on it. You can build for more attack speed, critical chance or range instead. If you're looking to use a critical build without elemental damage, the Venka Prime is one of your best choices in general. With Sacrificial Steel and Gladiator Might equipped, it reaches 294% critical chance, which gets you mostly red crits, and an extremely high damage multiplier on top of that. You will need to use this build with a primer, a Panzer Vulpaphyla or frame abilities to inflict status procs for condition overload. The Keratinos is one of my go-to weapons to use as a healing stat stick, since it has a high status chance and innate viral damage. I have it built here for corrosive and heat damage, with healing return for healing. Notice that I'm not using my abilities and I've removed Arcane Grace for this clip, so I'm being kept alive only by healing return. Otherwise, this isn't the best build for the steel path, but it can be used if needed. The Keratinos is also one of my favorite heavy attack weapons. This build is a bit strange, but I find that it works for me. The important mod here that isn't used much is Relentless Combination, which will increase your combo counter every time a slash proc deals damage. This is helpful in 2 ways. First, it increases your combo counter very fast, which makes the heavy attack stronger. Second, it prevents your combo counter from dropping, as long as there is an enemy suffering from a slash proc. This means that you can use Xenaric's Inner Might to decrease how much combo counter is reduced by heavy attacks, instead of Nerimon's Power Spike. The Ripkas are best used to carry Amalgam Ripkas True Steel. Primed Fury will work better in this case to make up for its slow attack speed, but you can get away with using Berserker if you don't have it. The claw weapons in Warframe are underappreciated in my opinion, though it might be because of their low base range, and their stances can be hard to come by. If you're looking for a weapon for general use and endurance runs, the Venka Prime is your best choice, though the Keratinos is a good alternative. The Keratinos is also good as a healing or heavy attack weapon, and you can make more interesting builds for it. Its range is an important advantage over other claws. The Ripkas are mostly useful with necros and shotguns because of Amalgam Ripka's true steel.